everyone, welcome to Freedom Homestead. I'm Tangi and welcome back to Wellness Wednesday.
What makes your garden grow? Water and sunshine. What makes your spirit grow? Knowing that she'll be mine.
This is week 3, back on my wellness journey. Someone, I think it was Shauna, commented on my last video that, I had said several months ago that your health is worth starting over and over and over as many times as you need to until you get to where you need to be. And so that's exactly what this is. This is my second video in my restart, and I'm really excited by how excited all of you are. So just a really quick recap for those of you who are new here. I have been on a wellness journey for a while, but earlier this year we had a pretty big life event happen, and it was very stressful, and I did not take care of myself at all. I gained a lot of weight in the last 6 months, and I am having issues as an effect, and I'm having some other issues as a result of all of the weight gain. So I am taking my health back. I am eating in a way that makes me feel fantastic, and that I know that I get results from, and that is keto. Kind of a lazy, dirty-ish keto. I do try to mostly eat protein and vegetables, some like berries and nuts and things like that. But occasionally I will have like a protein bar or a protein shake. But I do try to keep it pretty simple with meat and vegetables. And then exercising. My goal is to move my body at least 15 minutes a day. And I know that that doesn't seem like a lot, that the recommended is more, but I'm trying to concentrate on one thing. What's one thing I can do that will help me reach my goal? And that's moving. I have a desk job. And so sometimes my 15 minutes turns into 30 minutes, but sometimes it doesn't. And so I'll be happy with the 15 minutes that I get. So I'm trying to be easy on myself and not set goals for me that are unrealistic. So 15 minutes, and I really try to focus on stretching right now because I have a desk job. I'm usually standing or sitting for at least 8 hours, and so I really need to stretch. That's what makes me feel better. So anyway, so that is what I've been doing for the last 3 weeks. I did see a little bit of movement on the scale, but for us women, it fluctuates a lot. So the lowest I was this week was 209, and this morning I was 211 again. I don't think there's really a good reason. It just, that's just what happens. That's why people tell you not to go by the scale, is because there is so much fluctuation. I can't really tell a whole lot of difference yet in my clothes. I can kind of tell in my stomach, like it doesn't seem like it sticks out as far as it has been. But yeah, it's still pretty early in the game. But I will say that I have been doing really, really well for the last 3 weeks. I won't say I've been strict, but I've been pretty consistent with what I am eating. But I will say, but on Sunday we did go to a friend's house, and the meal was not keto friendly. The protein was breaded. There were green beans, but all of the other sides, I think there was coleslaw. I don't know if it had sugar in it or not. I think it did. And my favorite cake was there, which is coconut cream. So I just had a non-keto meal, and I enjoyed it. It was delicious. But my very next meal, I was right back on plan. So I'm not beating myself up. I'm not upset about it. That's going to happen. I think the key is moving on. Like, oh, I've blown the whole day or whatever. Because that was lunch. My very next meal, I kept keto friendly. In fact, we were eating at church. We were having, we just did like boxed dinners, and it was a sandwich, pasta salad, chips, and cookies. So I gave my chips and my cookies to other people sitting at the table. I drank water. I ate the meat and the cheese out of the sandwich, and the pasta salad had cubes of cheese, tomato, cubes of meat, and olives in it. So I picked that stuff out, and then I did not eat the pasta. But I was still full from lunch, so I was very satisfied with that. So I feel like I did a good thing. I'm not upset about it at all. And like I said, that was my first non-keto meal in 3 weeks. So I'm perfectly okay with that. So let's see. Okay. So I mentioned to you guys last week that I wanted to talk about this book. We've been reading this book for work. It's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. Now, I'm in real estate, but this is not a real estate book. This is a life book. And I have found so many gold nuggets in here. And what's funny is, like, no matter what you're going through in your life, if there's something that you're trying to improve or something that you know you need to improve, it feels like this book is talking directly to whatever that thing is. So for me, this was about health and weight loss. And it was so funny because the team that I work for, there's 4 of us in the team, and every single one of us got something different out of it. And so I highly recommend this book. I kind of get bored with like self-help books, but I don't know if it's just the time in my life or what. Maybe it was just because we were doing it in a book club, so it made it more enjoyable. I don't know. But I highly recommend The One Thing by Gary Keller. And if I can find it on Amazon, I will link it down below. It's also the audio book is here on YouTube, but it really is better, I think, to read it. Plus, like, I've highlighted some stuff in here. You can make notes in the margins. It's just a really, really fantastic book. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about in the book that I find very helpful, it's chapter 11, and it's called The Success Habit. And it talks about asking yourself a focusing question. And the focusing question is this: what's the one thing I can do that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? What is the one thing I can do that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? So if you are on a health journey, this is something that I think totally applies. You can ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do today? Or what's the one thing I can do this year? Or what's the one thing I can do right now that is going to make my health journey easier or make everything else unnecessary? So it's funny how when you ask yourself that question and you ask it over and over, you kind of keep whittling down and whittling down and whittling down until you get to the one thing. So for me, when I ask myself, what is the one thing I can do to help myself with my health? And I actually kind of went through this in 2019, right before I turned 40. My 40th birthday was in 2020. And I had to ask myself, what is it that I want? What do I want to be thinner? Do I just want to weigh less? And that was not my goal. My goal was to be healthier. So it became not just how much I was eating, but what I was eating. And so that is what led me to keto, because before I was counting points and I was still eating things that weren't necessarily healthy. But eating a ketogenic way made me eating the ketogenic way helps me to fight sugar cravings. It makes me feel better. I mean, I genuinely, when I say that I felt like I was in the best shape of my entire life, I am being so completely honest with you. And again, I have done a ton of research. You have to do what's right for you, and whatever your health situation is. So that is why I have chosen keto. So the one thing that I can do is to focus on making sure that I'm not eating white flour, white sugar, many starchy vegetables, high sugar fruits, because I have found that even though some of those things are healthy, like, fruits and some grains and things like that, where they're deemed healthy, for me, they're also very triggering. They make me crave more sugar because my body has switched fuel types. I'm going from burning fat to burning carbs, and it just makes you crave more carbs. And so that is one of the reasons why I enjoy eating the way that I do. And then when it comes to my health, what is one thing that I can do that will make feeling better easier and everything else unnecessary? And right now for me, it feels like stretching is the right thing. And once I get back into stretching and I feel like I'm where I want to be with movement and not as stiff, and then I feel safe in going into strength training, that's going to be my next step. But right now, focusing small, and then I'm going to work up from there. I'm going to read a little excerpt from here, from chapter 11, The Success Habit. It's referring to, anytime it says the focusing question, it's referring to what's the one thing I can do that will make everything else easier or unnecessary. Okay. So the focusing question is the foundational habit I use to achieve extraordinary results and lead a big life. I use it for some things and not at all for others. I apply it to the important areas of my life, my spiritual life, physical health, personal life, key relationships, job, business, and financial life. And I address them in that order. Each one is a foundation for the next. Because I want my life to matter, I approach each area by doing what matters most in it. I view these as the cornerstones of my life and have found that when I'm doing what's important in each area, my life feels like it's running on all cylinders. So then he goes on talking about how he makes the one thing or the focusing question a part of his everyday life. And this is how he builds his habits. So here is how you make it a habit. First, you have to understand it and believe it. So whatever the answer to your focusing question is, you have to understand it and you have to believe it. If you don't understand it and you don't believe it, you're not going to put the effort into it that you need. Always use it. Always ask the focusing question. In order for something to become a habit, it has to be done 66 days consecutively. Now, a lot of people think it's 21 times, but new research has shown it takes 66 consecutive days of doing that one thing for it to become a habit. So make yourself a tracker, do your habit 66 days in a row to make it a habit. Set reminders for yourself. Put posters, make yourself like flyers or posters to put up around your house. One thing that it suggests is a poster that says, until the one thing is done, everything else is a distraction. So until your exercise is done, everything else is a distraction. This is to help you focus and making sure that your one thing is done every day. And then lastly, recruit supporters. And that's exactly what you all are. You guys are my supporters, and I want to be that for you. So please be sure that you leave in the comment section, how did your week go? Let me know. So let me know, what are you going to do for Thanksgiving? Are you giving yourself permission to eat whatever you want? Are you going prepared? How are you going to protect your goals tomorrow? So let me tell you what I plan on doing. I know that my mother-in-law is making the turkey and she is making green beans. I'm not sure if my sister-in-law is going to make her salad. I hope she does. But if she doesn't, that's okay. What I am taking that I'm fixing to start cooking is keto-friendly cranberry sauce, mashed cauliflower, pumpkin dump cake, which I'm really excited about that, keto rolls, and deviled eggs. And so they can eat all of that. If they don't want the keto rolls, I'm also going to make yeast rolls. And I know she's doing mashed potatoes, but I wanted something for myself that would not, would not trigger the cravings. So those are the things that I'm going to be making to take tomorrow for Thanksgiving. I've already got my eggs boiled for deviled eggs. And I think everything else shouldn't take too terribly long to cook. But anyway, so that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope this was helpful. Oh, by the way, I have a reminder to say, Sarah, how are you doing with your water? Are you drinking your water? All right, you guys. So that is all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it motivational, encouraging. Let's be each other's supports. Comment down below. Tell us how you're doing. What's working for you? What isn't? What are your scale victories, your non-scale victories? And how are you going to protect your goals tomorrow? All right, that's all I've got for you guys today. God bless you. Until next time, remember to be vigilant, be prayerful, and be prepared. And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.